Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This video is going to be my review, my honest review of the Norwegian Jade and my 4-day cruise that I took with them to Nassau, Bahamas, as well as the Great Stirrup Cay. So let's get into it.
The Norwegian Jade was built in 2006, but then refurbished in 2022. It can hold 2,400 passengers and 1,037 crew. It is 965 feet long. As you can see, it is a much smaller ship. There's a Carnival ship, a Disney ship, and then right next to it is 2 Royal Caribbean ships, so it is a lot smaller. Out on deck 12, this is the main deck with the pools. There are 2 pools and 4 jacuzzis, as well as 2 bars, and there's a performance stage in the middle. On deck 13, there's a basketball, volleyball, and tennis court, as well as a jogging, walking track, and golf driving nets. I thought this giant outdoor chessboard was pretty cool. The Bliss Lounge was a pretty cool area where they had lots of performances. They had different music playing and also some games and different classes. They leave this area open so they don't close the doors, and there's a walkway in the back. I actually came in when nothing was going on and just sit on these couches and read a book. The Stardust Theater is the main theater with the bigger performances. It actually is a pretty decent sized theater, and I had no problem finding a seat, actually a really good seat. The Spinnaker Lounge is one of my favorite parts of the ship. This lounge specifically was really big, and it had really nice windows that you could just sit and look outside. And then in the evening when they had different performances here, or like parties, there was plenty of places to sit. They kept a lot of the servers on the floor getting drinks for you from the bar, which was really nice. The bar itself is really cool, the bartenders were very attentive, and there was plenty of space. This is the Atrium Cafe and Bar where the coffee shop was, as well as guest services. This was a really chill area to hang out, and the chandeliers at the top were just so beautiful. This was on the 7th floor, but down on the 6th floor they had a lot of bars in a row. There's the Tankard's Beer and Whiskey Bar, Mixer's Martini and Cocktail Bar, as well as the Magnum Champagne Wine Bar, and a live music area. The Jade Casino is actually one of the nicer casinos, in my opinion, that I've been in on a cruise ship. It was pretty large, and it didn't have the smoke that you had to walk through, which is really nice. But there were plenty of machines, a really nice bar in the middle, and the staff was amazing. I didn't like where they put O'Sheeran's Bar and Grill. It was on deck 8 in between a bunch of the rooms, but it did overlook the atrium, which was kind of cool. I also did not like where they put the Sugarcane Mojito Bar. It was all the way up on deck 13 and shared an area with the Brazilian Steakhouse, which I thought was weird. I still made the trek up here multiple times because they had my favorite mojito. I did get a massage on this cruise, which was very relaxing. I do think it was overpriced, and I also missed the little waiting area that they have refreshments. This ship did not have that. This is the thermal suite. That's a plunge pool, and then there was a steam room, some showers, the private sauna, which this whole area was just for the women. They have a separate section for the men, which it had its own jacuzzi in here as well. I was just overall very disappointed with the thermal suite and ended up not buying a package, even though I love these heated loungers. It had another shared jacuzzi, which, look at those janky steps. To get to the rooms, it was actually a little confusing. There was multiple times I turned down the wrong hallway. There were so many different twists and turns, it was very easy to get disoriented. For this cruise, I had an interior room, which, as you can see, it is pretty small, but it had everything I needed, and it was just for me, so I had plenty of space. The vanity area was okay. It was small, but it got the job done. Here was the fridge built into the cabinets, which was pretty cool. There actually was a lot of storage space in this room. It had all those drawers. The closet was a good size. Next to the closet, there was all these cubby holes with the safe, which added even more storage. I don't know what it was about this bathroom, but I really liked the layout. It felt really spacious, even though there wasn't a lot of room. The shower also was a pretty decent size.
Okay, I want to show you guys something. I'm gonna try not to get wet, but I've never been on a cruise ship with this much water pressure.
I have a tradition of getting a burger as soon as I get on the cruise ship, which this meal was so good, a warm welcome. All of the buffets on this cruise, including the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all of the food was high quality, the temperature was perfect, there was a lot of variety, so I have no complaints about the buffet at all. I ate one meal in the main dining room, which I started with this lobster ravioli. It was the perfect size, perfect temperature. I just wish it had a more creamy sauce. For the main course, I had bluefish and mashed potatoes. That bluefish was so delicious. It was seasoned perfectly. The mashed potatoes just needed a little bit more seasoning. This was my favorite dessert of the entire cruise. It was a chocolate mint mousse. Very creamy, very balanced, had a crunch, just perfect. I had some wings and some pretzel bites with beer cheese at O'Sheeran's. It was okay, nothing special. I had a specialty meal included in my package, so I went to Cagney's. I started with a crab cake, which this was absolutely delicious. The bread was freshly baked and smelled so good. The steak was a little bit disappointing. It was cooked to the perfect medium rare, and I enjoyed the charring. It was just a little dry for a ribeye. Finished up with some chocolate cake, which it was a good portion. It was really good. I just wish it was a little bit fluffier. There was plenty of entertainment on this ship. I was actually really happy with the list. This was the Boots show that was country music. My favorite show, which is the Not So Newlywed Game. The dancers started off the glow party with a performance, which was pretty cool. The glow party was a blast. I think everybody really enjoyed themselves, and I ended up staying out a lot later than I meant to. The first complaint is Cagney's. The service was super slow. It took me forever to get my steak, and I wasn't able to make the reservation on the app, so as soon as I got on the cruise ship, I had to go wait in line and make the reservation in person, which I don't like. Speaking of the app, they changed some things that I really do not like. So they made it so that the map is not interactive. You can't look up each floor and see what's there. So I had to go online and find this PDF to download, and it just made it a lot more difficult to find everything. The next thing is that the excursion prices were absolutely ridiculous. This excursion that I wanted to do was almost $550, which I would get $50 off with my package. It didn't even include drinks or food, which is just crazy. And I actually found a similar excursion package on Viator for like $120. If you go back to my last video, you can see the excursion that I did. You can also see what happened with us having to skip Great Stirrup Cay. To start off, I have my flights listed there. Due to some weather, I had to drive down the night before and actually get a hotel, which included my parking for this trip. I already mentioned how much I spent on my excursion, which the tips include the excursion tips and the tips for the housekeeping staff. My massage is listed there. I had to pay a little bit extra for a Wi-Fi upgrade to unlimited. That was my Uber to the port, and then I got some souvenirs on the ship. The cruise itself was $734, which prior to this I had purchased a $300 Cruise Next coupon from a friend of mine for $100. If you count all that together, I pretty much paid $534 for this cruise, and then I actually made money in the casino because I made $60. That makes my grand total to almost $1,500 for this entire cruise.
Hopefully this video has helped you decide whether or not you want to go on the Norwegian Jade, or if you've already booked the Jade, at least now you'll know what to expect. As always, I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't liked or subscribed yet, please do, and I will see y'all next week.